There's a quite simple answer to the question, what is a football club worth? The answer is, how much do people love you? How many of them love you? How geographically widespread is this group of affectionate disciples? And what intensity, what propensity to spend in pursuit of that affection to these people? That's the value of a football club. It's expressed in terms of love. It's a monetization of love. Because it all sits on that. Nobody would be interested, Coca-Cola wouldn't be interested in football sponsorship if it didn't have that. And nobody else would be anyway. Why would a largely East Asian bank want to write its name on a Liverpool shirt? Because the relationships are something that they think will benefit their business. And what's the core of that? It's the people who follow the club. And a fan is someone who loves the club. It's not someone who is quite interested but doesn't really care. And so when I read these numbers about Manchester United have got 150 million fans in China, and Liverpool have got, 100 million, and I just shake my head and laugh. That's not football. They're just people they stop in the street and say, have you ever heard of Manchester United? And if they say yes, they're counted, There's no real research behind those numbers. When you look at the real numbers, that is, how many individual people buy stuff from a club like Liverpool, for a club like Manchester United. Buying is an expression of relationship, isn't it? It's a translation of relationship into money.
And is that what you think NESV are buying into in a way, that potential for global expansion of these fans who buy into the love of the club?
It's all about Asia. See, it doesn't matter how many American franchises you own, does it? You can have a baseball team and a gridiron team and a basketball. It don't get you the world. Football gets you the world, but the Premier League gets you the world with knobs on. And that's why there are 5 American owners. 25% of the Premier League is owned by Americans now. And another 25% of it is owned by other foreigners. So half the Premier League. Well, you've got to ask yourself, if you've got all these wonderful sports franchises, what are you doing? Why bother? The answer is, you get something you can't get any other way. And that's because it's the only global game. And that's another very profound question. Why is it football and not basketball, baseball, tennis, cricket, golf, whatever you want to say? Because they're all getting, some of them are much older than football, aren't they? Like tennis and golf, for example, cricket too. But they're all getting their rules written in the mid-19th century. They're all starting off from more or less the same baseline. And 100 years later, there's only one winner, and it's football. Why is that? Well, we haven't got time to even think about it. But the reality is, that's what it is. And one of the keys might be that it's the most democratic, physically democratic game. Because you've only got to look at the world. It's made up of skinny little guys like me, who want to play. And when you look at who the greatest players in the world are, they're little fat guys and little skinny guys, So if I want to be a basketball player, well, dream on, son. But if I want to be Messi, I can be Messi. That delivers something which I don't think anything else does. And I think there are other factors as well, but there's nothing like football, and there's nothing like the Premier League to capture those eyeballs and leverage those relationships.